I'm Pete King. I've been skating for about 17 years, 29 years old now. Travelled all around the place thanks to skateboarding. I run a company now with my friend Andy Willis. We're renting out skateboard ramps to all sorts of events. Got Europe's biggest portable vert ramp and a portable mini ramp. And this is just a bit of guff about what got me into it in the first place. The first time I ever saw skating was on the way back from primary school actually, and seeing some lads bombing down the hills locally. So I was standing out the way so they couldn't see me watching, and watching them all bombing down the hill, just thinking how much fun it looked. That's the first time I remember sort of seeing it. Didn't actually have a go myself until probably about a year later. Went round a friend's house from school and saw in the garden that they had this little miniature mini ramp. Went out there and borrowed one of their boards and had a little go. And yeah, that was it really. That's kind of what got me gripped on it. Kid's dad let us take the whole garden over to build skate parks on. The mum and the dad both were completely down for just letting us take it over to make it our little skate park basically. And it was all pretty bric-a-brac made, all from little bits of wood we'd scavenged from around the areas. That was an amazing little era, and that was when I sort of first started skating every day and getting really into it. Yeah, when that rent went, we just street skating locally and just skating around the local area, but I managed to convince my mum into letting me put a mini ramp in the garden. Me sphincter! And the next door neighbours weren't overjoyed with it, and they got a little petition together with the local neighbours. It caused all sorts of problems. And probably spent more time building that ramp and trying to soundproof it by packing it with mud and newspapers from a neglected paper round, if I remember rightly, but we just didn't really get to skate it a great deal. Yeah, around about the time that my ramp got knocked down, yeah, just street skating really, just going up to London. South Bank was kind of our local spot with me and my mates, and just used to hang around there. Skating didn't have any of the sort of kudos it does now, I suppose. It was kind of considered a little bit geeky, if anything. Walking through town with your skateboard was a bit of a nightmare, because you might as well walk through town with a hula hoop. People didn't have a lick of respect for it. So as well as skating southbound, I used to go and skate a place called Leon Sea. It was a ramp skate park, so it was all just ramps joined up. It had a vert ramp and mainly mini ramps all joined up. And it was incredible, absolutely amazing, but completely dead. You know, on a Saturday afternoon, you're lucky if you had half a dozen people there wanting to skate it. Because at the time, the whole focus in skateboarding was only street skating. But me and a few friends kept skating at Leon Sea, and we had an incredible scene down there. Even though there wasn't many of us, it was a real tight-knit little group of friends, and we pretty much had this park to ourselves. And it was decaying, it was all rotting away, the metal was all flapping up. It's amazing that health and safety didn't close it down a long time before they did. It was feral, pikey, dirty little place, but amazing, absolutely amazing. And we skated that until they tore it down. So around about the time that Leon Sea was completely decaying and all the metal was flapping up everywhere and it was getting quite deadly to skate, I met this chap called Hugh Gurney. This guy basically had got a carpenter to build him a vert ramp and a mini ramp indoors in a barn. I actually didn't believe him, it sounded too good to be true. And sure enough, he gave me his phone number, we arranged to go down there, and in this little barn tucked away in the arse end of Essex was a perfect vert ramp. We ended up skating there all the time. We managed to get a key for the place, and we had about 3 months of this perfect indoor place. It was amazing. That was a mad little era. And again, vert skating was so dead that to get 8 people down there would be doing really well. There's a couple of houses that were quite nearby to the barn that the ramps were in, and they had enough of the noise. And they took the guy to court or whatever, and they managed to get it closed down anyway, so that ramp got closed. So we pretty much just street skating all the time again.
Have you got your lunch? No, seriously, have you got your lunch?
Do you want to fuck off? Same coat as me. Good girl. The street skating at that time was fun as it was, you go out skating for the day and just constantly getting kicked out of places. It was getting quite annoying, and for me that was starting to suck the fun out of it a bit. When basically Six opened, that was a blessing. It was like all of a sudden we had somewhere dry because it was undercover that you could go and you could skate all day and skate everything, a vert ramp, mini ramp, street course, so all types of skating all under one roof. We just used to skate there all the time, and that's been another massive era. Because it was the first time we'd had an indoor place we could skate in London. You had skaters coming there from all over, so you know, you meet a load more people who are into the same thing as we were. It's a good sort of place that you really get a taste of the whole skate scene, because you're surrounded by skaters, because you've got all these lads from all different areas, so everyone knows about different things that are going on in different areas. Brought home the fact that there was more to the whole skate scene than just skating. There's a real good sort of social vibe about it as well. There's a real good turnaround for skating in London. After school, I went to college for a couple of years and was going to go to university, but at that point I got offered a sponsorship deal that meant I had a travel budget. So I sacked off going to university and started travelling around. Vert was completely dead for a long time. There's hardly anyone skating it, and it was a real sort of underground, you know, quite a hardcore little element of skating really, because it wasn't in the mags. A lot of the big named vert skater pro guys weren't on the scene anymore. And then all of a sudden, Red Bull and a couple of other companies invested in building ramps, which were getting taken around to fashion shows and festivals and car shows and all sorts of weird and wonderful events. And that meant that all of a sudden us lads who'd been really struggling to find anyone to skate with and were just carried on skating vert the whole way through, all of a sudden we're getting the opportunity to travel all over the place.
He's back and he's black. Keep it going, man.
I don't even feel comfortable touching it, and that's meant to go down your throat. Mountains and all of that kind of carry on. If I heard of an event in a country I'd not been to, then I'd jump on it and go there, if it's sort of using it as an excuse to go skate different places and skate with different people, and just to sort of see the world really. That's cool.
Shame how they really don't make an effort with the architecture, isn't it?
I know, lazy builders. Look at them, they're the most pecky looking. There are times when I'd sort of be away for a couple of months at a time, but from place to place. I remember going to China, then had something happening in Germany, so I stayed with friends in Germany for a little bit, and then went from Germany to Italy to something at Versace's place, which was ridiculous. Sharing a changing room with all these little models, and we were in the corner of our rancid pads, and just thrown into weird circumstances, all from having a skateboard. It was very, very strange. In the middle of an array of stampeding camels. For the general public who've never seen skating, amazing as street skating is, if you put a ledge and a flat bank at an event, for people who don't know what they're watching, it's not as visually impressive as watching someone flying out the top of a ramp, and it's as simple as that. That's why vert skating was the side of skating which kind of blew up in the public eye. Which I think has done good things for skating. It all brings attention back to skating, which means getting more kids into it, which means more people in the skate shops, means more people buying the magazines, means more people pushing for skate parks. It all benefits skateboarding. With skateboard events, I think a lot of people, we go to them just because it's an excuse to go skate with other people and skate other places. The emphasis isn't really on the fact it's a competition, it's more the case that you get to go somewhere with your friends and it's basically like a holiday where you get to skate, which is kind of perfect. The thing that makes it so funny travelling around as a skateboarder is that it's always an unknown entity. When you turn up at an event, you don't know what's going on, you don't know who will be looking after you, you don't know where you're staying, you know, there is that element of it's a disorganised mess. It's not like going on holiday and booking it through Lumpoly and turning up at your 5-star hotel. It's just an amazing way to travel. There's no better way to travel than with skating. One of the funnest periods of skating was going to Australia, and I went with a couple of friends, went with a 2-week ticket and ended up staying for 6 months. Half of the appeal of Australia was to dodge the British winter. Go and get a bit of sun when it's all grim here, it's really sunny over there.
Oh, too much power, Australian young man.
It was amazing, just really good skate scene, real friendly people. They were well ahead of England for skate parks, had good concrete skate parks everywhere. So we were just skating all day, every day. So it was an amazing little period for skating for us. I already had a few mates who lived in Australia and they hooked me up with going on a few tours and doing some of the same stuff I've been doing in Europe, some of these demos and whatnot. I got to travel all around Australia. The next winter we went back and then a couple more friends came, and the next winter a few more people come, and there's been a good little connection with all the English lads and all the lads from Melbourne. It's been a pretty strong little scene of people going out from England to there to escape the winter. My time spent in Australia was amazing, and it just confirmed everything that I'd seen good about the skate scene in Europe. It was the same over there, really good people. The event culture over there was amazing. All the events were just a big party, big get-together, loads of skating and all the other associated carry-on. Yeah, that just kind of enforced the fact that I definitely wanted to be involved in that side of skating, the side that sort of gets everyone together, the event side of it. Sort of more about collecting memories than anything else. When I got back from Australia, a good friend of mine is my friend who got me into skating actually originally. He had a portable mini ramp that he wanted to sell. So me and my old mate Chesson, who's been my friend since school days, we went halves on it and bought this mini ramp. The plan was to sort of get involved with helping out with some events and rent it out and give the lads a few quid for riding it and have that as a basis of starting to set up a ramp company. Yeah, we took it to a few events. Because I've been going to events for so long, I knew a lot of people who were organising them. Yeah, we weren't that motivated to do much with it because we were both, at this time, Dave as well, we were both just skating all day, every day. This could lead into a little bit of him.
Sorry, I've frozen.
Skating together for years and years. We travelled around the place, been in so many stupid situations together and had so many funny little incidents. I got tangled up in all sorts of nonsense with him all around the place over the years.
kettle spoils.
A few years ago, I got approached by someone from Vauxhall and they were looking to put together this thing called Vets Collective. They wanted a skateboarder on there. Completely random, but it sounded like quite interesting. Out the way, peasant. I had to take the whole thing off and start it all again. I really was at the end of my tether. The first project they gave me was to make this Vauxhall Skate City. Me and a designer paired up together. Yeah, Sam's keeping an eye on me. No. Make sure I'm not in breach of any of the health and safety regulations.
Yeah, I am. I'm supervising.
We sort of designed it together actually and built it together. The brief was we had to make something that was an original bit of design and something unusual to skate. And the end result was really something that I was really happy with. The actual Skate City itself was good fun. It was good getting everyone to come down and skate it. Through doing my bit to make sure the Skate City project worked out, Vauxhall wanted me to do another project and negotiated a deal with them to get this vert ramp built, and the long and short of it was that I actually managed to get hold of a big, portable, massive vert ramp. We started a company off the back of that, basically. So it worked out amazing. From going to all these events, and a lot of them being on vert ramps, and skating all sorts of dodgy, shoddy, wobbly, rickety ramps all over the place, I'd always thought it'd be an amazing thing to actually have a good vert ramp that you could take around to events where you could actually turn up a portable ramp that people would want to ride rather than some sketchy death trap. You know, I only had the one chance to get the ramp made, so I wanted to make sure it was as good as I could get it. And everyone kind of agreed that Tony Hawk's ramp that he uses for his tour is kind of perfect, like the perfect transition, perfect amount of vert with the right amount of flat. And then we got to skate that ramp. We went and skated Tony Hawk's ramp for the day, and it was, as soon as I got on it, it was like, right, this is it, you know, this is the perfect size. I got the exact measurements of it and duplicated it. So once the ramp actually got finished, I realised I wouldn't have time in amongst skating all the time and everything else to actually sort out the logistics and manage it and actually make a proper company out of the vert ramp and the mini ramp. So that was when I spoke to Andy Willis.
Pete had the opportunity of the ramp and approached me about taking on the logistics of running the company, basically.
Andy was involved in running the St Albans comps back in the day.
Big events which brought the whole skate scene together, which was just so much fun to be part of.
Because Andy had been involved in organising them, and I knew that he ran a skate school and he built the Pioneer voluntarily, did a lot of good stuff for skateboarding. It was an obvious choice for me to get on board to help me with this. This is probably a nice opportunity for you to say thank you. It's probably nice. He's a maniac on a plank himself. He's not shy to take a slam or two.
Andy Willis speaking, King Ramps. Well, I was brought on to sort of basically run most of the logistics, getting the ramp to the events, getting the team ready, the tools ready. Pete's obviously got a lot of the contacts and stuff, and sort of he brings in a new job and I sort of make it happen. It's sort of a perfect unit, really. Yeah, it's sort of like that. Come together, filled in the gaps, the voids they both had. So we're unstoppable.
First place we put the ramp up was Urban Games. When the ramp arrived, it was, it all comes off the lorry. We didn't really know what we were doing. With the fella who built it was there, but he was sort of there, but not really. It's treacherous at best, but it was good fun. It all come together and seeing the scale of it, because it is massive. There's a really good little buzz. And it was brilliant to watch everyone on it and loving it, and the skating that went on was, Andy Scott that day was absolutely incredible, and he's watching one of my favourite skaters on the ramp going nuts was amazing. Yeah, every time you build it says, you have a lot to deal with.
vert ramp turned up with no screws. Thanks, Richard. That was wicked of you.
Boy, that was fucking a bit over the top. I didn't mean it that hard. That was a bit out of order.
That's Chief Foreman stance. It's practiced well by one of our major members of our crew.
I don't know, I think we're getting there. Was that his tongue? It's always worth it, and even though it is hard work, but at the end of it you've got a perfect ramp to skate, and that ramp's an asset to all the events it's gone to. I think it's gone down really well. But everyone else who helps with it is all skateboarders and all friends of mine. And the good thing of having skateboarders working on it is that they all care, you know, they want the ramp to be good for everyone to ride. Taking it to events, it's always different circumstances. You know, a lot of it's been word of mouth through people who've heard that I've had a ramp, or friends of mine who run events, some of the festivals. Willis has organised some of that stuff completely on his own, like Glastonbury. He took that on and just got it all together. I mean, the event we've done down here in Brighton, we've done that twice now. It's been good fun. I mean, that's probably been the hardest work, actually, because we've been doing that one on a real small budget. We took the ramp to Creamfields Festival, which was like a full-on massive rave, basically, but it's amazing, it's hilarious, you know. Yuki's always a highlight. Taking them out down at the Boardmasters event's been brilliant. We've done that twice now. A lot of the international guys coming over. A hotel just full of all skateboarders. We've not done one ramp job yet that's not been a good giggle. They've all been good fun. It's the fact that all the events are different and it's so varied that keeps it all so fresh and stops it from ever getting stale. We run the company from here for now and it's worked out really well. Yeah, working with Willis has gone really good. You know, all the bits which I'm not too good at keeping on top of, he's really good with. So everything has worked out. But yeah, listening to Willis's drum and bass can be a bit draining, and he can, to be honest with you, he can be a bit of a sensitive soul. You kind of have to give him a little patronising ego rub from time to time, a bit like a baby. You can't find myself going, no, it's all right. All right, Willis. How long have you been here?
I've been upstairs running the company.
With bringing a ramp to these things, from my point of view, it's really good to see how there's a whole new generation of kids who are ripping on vert, and that's really good to see, because for a while there's no young kids coming up. Paul Luke Ronchetti and the two Sams, Beckett and Bosworth. Well, they're obviously a fan of Sam's work. They all seem to be loving him. He's got a little gaggle in the front row, scream every time he drops in. Yeah, tell the fan club to shut up, Sam. It's good because it gets them out there, you know. Hopefully it helps them on the way for them not having to get proper jobs, because it means that they're actually doing something and smashing it and really sort of putting skating out there to the public, if you like. The future of vert skating in this country is best it's ever been, I reckon. For their age, they're the best skaters in the world, I'm sure of it. We're coming up on our 3rd year now of running the company, and so far it's been amazing. It's been some of the best times of my life, and this year we're basically just stepping it up. I'm doing a bit of skate park consultancy work for Maverick skate parks, and we get approached about all sorts of weird and wonderful random projects. It's good, it keeps it all fresh, never gets boring, never gets stale. So this summer is looking like it is going to be berserk with pretty much events every weekend. Yeah, just try not to die and onwards and upwards really. Just got a text from Willis. Just got a ramp job inquiry from a charity that was directed to us by Noel Edmonds. Should we skate off into the sunset together? Yeah.